Naeem Mahmood is late for class, and as usual, traffic is heavy. But he has a solution. He books a motorcycle taxi using the ride-sharing app Patao. And he's off. He's made it on time, and the journey has cost him just 80 cents.
Often I take bus for coming to the campus. It normally take 50 minutes to get there. Sometimes it more than that, like 1 hour and 20 minutes. It took me 15 minutes to get here.
Patao is the most popular app in Bangladesh. It has more than 100,000 users each day. The company's CEO says getting people interested in the service was a challenge, but now some are buying smartphones just to use it.
We went down on the streets. We got people to learn about it, right? We taught people by hand that, hey, this is how you request a ride, this is how you go from point A to point B.
Patao is one of 2,500 e-commerce businesses in Bangladesh. Another 15,000 small companies are doing business through social media pages. Naseema Akhtar heads the E-Commerce Association of Bangladesh. She says Bangladeshi women have made a significant contribution to the sector.
We have lots of entrepreneurs in this sector. Like in Facebook, there are 8,000 women are working on e-commerce sector. So this sector really going fast for women also and for everyone.
To boost the IT industry further, the government has invested 33 tech parks across the country, where e-commerce and software companies pay low rents and are given tax breaks. But connectivity remains a challenge. Only 50% of the country has internet access, and millions of people have no IT knowledge. Some charities are trying to fill the gap, like Jago, a non-profit organisation that offers full-time education for thousands of disadvantaged children across the country.
These children have been learning about information technology since around the age of 7 or 8. They've been taught everything from how to identify computer parts to using search engines and writing simple programs. Some of them will go on to higher education, where they'll obtain diplomas in information technology or computer science.
Like all the children in this classroom, Sonali Hussain doesn't have a computer at home, but now she feels confident using one.
The world is now based on communication and technology, so it is important. Everyone should have the basic knowledge about IT because it plays a great role in our life, everyday life.
The government wants to create 3 million jobs in the IT sector within the next 3 years. Its vision for Bangladesh is full connectivity and a thriving IT industry. So far, it seems to be speeding ahead. Shamim Chowdhury, TRT World, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
And Shamim joins us in the studio now. Very fascinating report all through this week, I have to say, Shamim. I mean, look, you mentioned there that the government has invested heavily in tech parks, but the big challenge still is computer literacy and internet connectivity in Bangladesh, isn't it?
It is, and the government does have plans to deal with that. It has been giving limited free computer programs to some adults who are going into, like, for example, software engineering or various e-commerce companies. And actually most public schools, most state schools in suburban and urban areas do give lessons to some degree in computer science for young kids. As far as internet is concerned, the government has a plan. It's called Info Shorkar. Shorkar means government, to install fibre optic broadband across the entire country within the space of the next few years or so. The exact dates are a little bit vague, but the idea is that once that's been installed, then the families who have internet connectivity will pay a fee in the same way that you and I do for our internet. So it is definitely in the planning.
Right. What about e-commerce, the likes of Amazon, eBay and things like that? Are they making an inroad at all?
No, not at the moment, although Alibaba has just entered the Bangladeshi market. Now, the reason why eBay and Amazon don't exist in Bangladesh at the moment is, well, there's a couple of reasons. One, people don't really have online banking. 75 million people out of 165 don't have 165 million don't have bank accounts, so you can't really make online payments. That's a massive hindrance. Secondly, the government is keen to ensure that local businesses don't get pushed out by the big giants like Amazon and eBay. So if you've got companies from outside selling their goods online, there's a very the government believes that there's a chance that, you know, local businesses will become defunct. So it needs to put some measures in place, and of course it needs to address the payment system before these big players can come onto the Bangladeshi market.
That's actually quite interesting. I mean, because in other parts of the world, in parts of Africa, which face similar problems where people don't have access to traditional banking, mobile banking has kind of stepped in and taken its place. Do you see any of those sorts of trends?
Yes, definitely, and that's very much in the pipeline. And there is a very simple form of mobile phone, smartphone banking that's being used by a very small proportion of the population, mainly in the cities. But it seems to be making headway. And in my report, I spoke about Patao, this app, this motorcycle riding up, and they're about to make a cashless payment system as well. So it's very much, you know, it's in the early stages, but it's something that's being planned. Okay,
Shamim, before we go, quick word about tomorrow's report.
So we are going to be looking at the traditional textiles industry. It's been around for hundreds of years. Mainly it's been for a domestic market up until now. There are ambitions to start selling some of this, quite frankly, very beautiful stuff overseas, but there are obstacles to overcome, competition from India, for example. But I'll tell you more tomorrow.
Really looking forward to it. Shamim Chowdhury, thank you so much.